Kirk the House Geek here with Mastermind, the Market Your Real Estate Stats Update for the Twin Cities area. Well, it's time to say goodbye to the buyer's market and hello to the seller's market. Before we dive into that data, though, I'm going to put a link below to our upcoming class. This one's a little bit different than what I usually do. This one is a seller's class, the Smart Seller. If you want to know how to leverage timing the market correctly, the best practices when getting your home ready, tools and resources, how you can get an extra 4 to 6% on your sales price, come check out this free home sellers education class. It'll be on February 24th at the Eagan Community Center. I'm going to put a link down below again to that. All right, let's dive into the data and take a look at what's going on in our market. All right, so first off, looking at showings per week, per listing, median sale price range jumping up was at a 4.06 up to a 4.41. So this is the number of showings somebody priced between 250 and 500K in the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and surrounding areas can expect to see on average for a home. Now this is in comparison to last year's 4.82, so actually tracking a little bit below where we were last year. And that's kind of a new trend. We were tracking ahead of last year's numbers up until just a couple weeks ago. So yeah, down by 9%, so something we're going to keep an eye on there. Total showings, though, is tracking a little bit ahead, 2413 in comparison to 2375 for areas used, so that's ahead by 1%. Days on market, looking at the last 7 days, averaging out at 40.4. Okay, moving along here to some other data points. Looking at new listings into the marketplace, drops off a little bit week over week after a couple weeks of going up. As you can see, though, we saw a similar trend last year. So 915 down to 823. This is in comparison, though, to last year's 723 new listings. Pending sales falls a little bit behind last year's numbers. So up week over week, though, 573 up to 619, but in comparison to last year's 651. This is keeping inventory of homes really tight now. Last time we did this video, the spread was a little bit bigger in comparison to last year. We're down to only a 2.4% 3-month average, and then just week over week, 2.3%. So where is all this putting our market meter? Well, it does jump it up into that seller's market range. So kind of when we did the last video, we were around the 4 mark in the market meter. We're up to a 6.2. But this is in comparison to last year's 7.3 on the market meter. Both of those are, though, in seller's market range. So is this a bad thing, seeing that we're a little bit behind last year? No, not necessarily. It's just showing that we're normalizing more, coming out of those highs of 21, 22, and 23, coming much more in line where things were back in 2019 as a market velocity. So looking at that on the market meter scale itself, we can see putting it right there at about the 6.2, so a mild seller's market range. We're going to keep an eye on that. Last year, we got into that extreme seller's market range by the end of February. So we'll see if we'll follow a similar trend or if we're going to stay where we're tracking right now, which is slightly behind. Okay, interest rates. 10-year Treasury has been jumping around a little bit over when I did the last video. We saw interest rates move back up closer to 7, and a lot of this is due to the activity in the bond market. The day before I recorded this video, we saw a great trend. We saw the bond market dropping back off, bringing interest rates back down. And therefore, we can see that happening here. It drops back off. But then due to a jobs report that came out today, as I'm recording this, rates move back up closer to 7%. Overall, though, significantly better than the 8.3% we were at back in October of last year. So, where to go from here? I think as a buyer, I would be a lot more aware of the competition out there, keeping an eye on the other showing and offer activity. This is not going to be as easy of a market as back in October and November and December. And for sellers, your opportunity is here. The next 90 days is that perfect window to capture the highest velocities due to that lower inventory of homes that's out there. You know, by the time we end February, that's usually the lowest inventory of the year. Again, supply and demand, as we see that buyer activity picking up and inventory dropping off, this is where you can capture those higher sale prices. As always, hopefully you found this video valuable. If you did, click on that like, subscribe, and share buttons out there. If you are looking at selling your home, come to that free class. I'm putting a link below to that. As always, you can reach out with any questions. Take care and have a great week.